what we missed out on, what they might have missed out on. But tonight, I mean, I want this to be like I don't know. I've been talking to a couple people from our team, and I think it's super important because we are all different personalities. We all might handle objections differently. We all might carry our frustrations differently. And it was kind of eye-opening for me because one of our teammates said, she's like, not to like hurt your feelings or anything, but a lot of times you're so positive, and when we struggle with things, we kind of take it offline and may talk to each other about it to kind of work through it because we don't want to bring you down or bring your positivity down. And it kind of made this like light bulb moment go off for me because I'm like, oh my God, no, like I struggle all the time, like daily. I mean, I think that that's what comes along with it. And I think that it's important for you guys to know that from me. And I also think it's really important for us to talk about things together because, I mean, this is hard. Anybody who says that this is not hard is not, I don't want to say doing it right. That's not because there's no like right or wrong, but they're probably not working it in the way that they want to kind of maybe take it to the next level. Because this is very, very hard. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. And it's something that might not come easy. And there's going to be struggles left and right that really come from this. So I can imagine, and you know, that everybody on this call has been through some sort of frustration, gotten through it, gone over it, maybe talked to somebody on the side or even on our team. But I think it's really important, like what we do with it and how we can work through it together. Because on the journey to our dreams, like wherever we want to take this, we're going to have journeys through frustration, whether that be mixed emotions, feeling angry, feeling depressed. You know, every successful person, I feel like, has to go through gigantic hurdles to learn how to manage our emotions. And I was looking at different things online, and I found a line that I really liked about how to discipline our disappointments. And I thought that was really key, because this can be something like, and we can kind of talk through some things tonight, but like frustrated with yourself. Are you frustrated with your team? It's a really common, these are common topics when it comes to this industry and this business, because when you think about it, we work for ourselves. It's a volunteer business that we are running, and no one is telling us what to do. We kind of are taking information left and right and are getting guided, but no one's telling us what to do. So when you work for yourself, it can be a really struggle because life happens and we have to learn how to still be the boss, because we're the owners, we're the CEOs, the janitors, the secretaries, we're all of it. And if we close that door when we get frustrated and shut the lights off, and if you do it too long, unless you're already at a level where you can afford to leave for a period of time and the business can, kind of still go on without you, then it's going to suffer. Then your business is going to suffer. So I think a really good goal is to kind of vent it out, bless it, release it, and how do we build on that stuff? Because if you think about when you're working for someone else, like at a corporate job, when we're frustrated there, I don't know if you guys are familiar, like if you feel this way, but we can either like swallow it, talk about it in a group to our manager, our boss, and then we're going to continue to work through it because we have to work, right? Like work goes on. But when we work for ourselves, those things can completely make us stop and pause and put our head down and hide. And sometimes like we're the only ones going through this, and it's really hard to swallow it. So I just want to rest assured, like you guys are, I definitely struggle every single day. And I think it's more of if you're seeing like rainbows and unicorns and positivity, I think it's more of the way that I'm trying to always shift my head. But I want it to be such a real open door type of thing. And, especially when we feel this way, because if you think about over the last couple of years, or if you're newer, we've had things like the new back office. That can be super frustrating. Shipping issues, wrong products going to different customers, customer service wait times. So when you have those frustrations, it's so natural to start questioning everything else about this journey, everything that kind of comes to a head. So if you're familiar with this feeling too, I was thinking about this before the call. Because I feel like this is kind of like the high and the low. So, and this is kind of how I think. You get a new customer and then you get this big rush, like this is awesome, like new customer. And then that rush goes and then you're kind of back to this baseline. And then maybe the next day you lose a customer that you've had been taking these products for a long time. And then instead of the rush, you're like in this negative space and you wait for that to flip over to get back to that baseline, but it doesn't flip. Like you just can't stop thinking about it. So it's a good question. Like, why does failure or frustration or negativity stick in our minds more than successes do? And I think that that's kind of a good thing to kind of talk through. And one of the strategies that I love YouTube. Like I am always like typing in different subject lines. And there was a strategy that I watched a couple months ago when I was having like a really down day. And it's really part of like talking about like realizing the frustration is part of the journey and negative emotions are all part of it. And to do our best to not beat ourselves up just because we're feeling down or we're feeling low about it. So one of the strategies that I had tried, if you get into a negative mode and you feel it like lingering for a little bit, what you can do is set a deadline for yourself. And what I mean is, you put, and I've legitimately tried this and it worked for me, and I don't do it all the time, but you put a timer on your phone for 30 minutes, for an hour, however long you need. And in that time, you can be as depressed as you want to be. You can complain as much as you want to complain. You want to let it all out in that time frame and get out all of that negative emotion. And then when that timer goes off, you're done. Like you're done with it. You're moving forward. And that's kind of how I've learned to kind of like bless and release, like, because those things can linger for a long time, like even years. Like you can be like, oh my gosh, I remember that time when the person said that this was a scam, and all these things that can get stuck in your mind. But if you get all of that out and let it go and then move on to the next, it's all about balance and kind of, I don't know, be willing to allow things to happen and then change the way that you, maybe not change the way, like just process through it, release it, and then go back to working this the way that it works for you and try to find a way to kind of keep your head above water. So that's just one of the things that I have done. And it sounds ridiculous because I am not one to complain to you guys or to let you see me down, in the dumps, but I need to do a better job of that 100% because it's reality and it is what it is. And I think that I'm so stuck in my own mind of, well, I have to stay positive all the time because that needs to be the theme for the team. But the theme for the team is the realness, the every emotion, the hardships. Like, I struggle with having a new person come on board and I'm like, I don't want them to see any negativity. But if we don't expose that in the beginning, once they hit that negative spot, they're going to be like, this is not for me, or this isn't normal. No one else experiences that. So I need to do a better job at doing that. And I need to own the fact that I don't do that enough for you guys. And I keep it bottled in a lot, but I really want to start making that be more of like a weekly practice for me, not to just kind of like vent, but I need you to know that like 6 months ago, Jen Hawkins is like, you're going to be Emerald by convention. Well, and I also need you to know that this month I barely was Senior Ruby, like barely. And it's mind blowing because we keep growing, but attrition happens. People between 0 to 99 PV happen. Those are things you can't control. And those are things that I know that we all work so hard, and that, that can get stuck in your own head and feel like it's a constant hamster wheel. But I also know over the last year, I may be points wise right now in the same spot, but next month that could be completely different. You don't have control of those things, but as long as you keep going and don't quit and just keep putting your mind to it and encouraging people and being a lighthouse for other people, whatever that looks like, it's going to happen the way that it happens. And as long as you have to, like for me, I have to let go of that timetable and just know that I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to do this. So that's kind of my, how I wanted to kind of kick off the call. But I would love for you guys to kind of just have this like an open forum and if there are things that you struggle with every day, or that today that you want to vent about, or that you want to get off your chest, or that you want to release it, or see if anybody else experiences it and how we handle it, like I say, go for it. So we don't really have like a set agenda, but I would love to kind of open it up to you guys and see where you're at and what things that we can kind of push and talk through with what you guys are feeling. So whoever wants to take the torch and talk or have anything on your mind, let me know. If not, I have probably like an hour worth of venting there.
I'll jump in. I got something. So one of the biggest things that I struggle with is people that have kind of dismissed me. Like I have been completely cut out of social life, like social media wise, of people's lives. Like people that I'm very close to have not just unfollowed me, defriended me. And I sit there and I think, what the hell, man? Like it's not that big of a deal. Like just scroll by if you're not a fan. But I struggle with that because I am a pleaser and I want everybody to be happy and I want everybody to like me and I want everything to be hunky-dory all the time and I want rainbows and unicorns and it's not. And so I struggle because I just think, like being completely honest and real, like am I really, like, is my belief strong enough? I struggle with that sometimes where I think, I know these products are great. I know what they've done for me, but is my belief really strong enough for me to withstand the rejection that happens, which will always happen no matter what. So that's one of my thingies. I started reading a book because that's what I do. I start them and I don't finish them. I started reading a book that had some really good information in it about mindfulness. Yeah, right, Katie. Like it's real. Don't worry, girl. It's the same. But it was about mindfulness, and one of the things it had said was basically like you have to imagine that the thoughts that come into your head, you don't have to act upon every thought that comes into your head. So I try to practice that and remember that if it's coming into my head, it doesn't mean that it's something I have to believe or go with or whatever. Like if the thought comes into my mind of, oh my gosh, everybody's going to think I'm annoying, I can just pop that bubble. It's a little soft bubble and just pop that little bubble and move on to the next thing. So like I physically will sometimes, if I'm really having a day where I'm letting too much stuff just get in my brain, I literally do this and I'm popping the bubbles around me because I feel like that action that somehow helps me to clear it away a little bit for a couple minutes. Until something else comes up.
With the people that you feel like unfollowed or defriended, is that something that like you found on your own, or have there been remarks or things said, or
there were always little remarks that they were passive aggressive remarks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's somebody I see every single day of my life, and it's somebody who's pretty close. And so when I realized that I was unfriended, I was like, whoa, damn. All right.
So, that has totally happened to me many times, and it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I think the way that, like, the first time it ever happened, I was like doing what you like, questioning, like, oh my gosh, like, should I just stop? Like, what is this? Should I hide this person from every post? Or if they unfriend you, obviously they can't see you. Now it's almost kind of like and I think that belief is a huge thing. I think that if you still feel like you are bothering people when you're reaching out to them, your belief is not where it should be. If you feel like that you're posting something and you are going to annoy people and you're nervous to hit when we have vulnerable posts, we're all nervous those, but if this is like happening on a daily basis, your belief is not strong enough. And I'm talking like on all boards, like company, the products, the industry, the network marketing in general. Like to have that belief be so strong is you're gonna know, and you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna think, I cannot, like the people who are close to you on a daily basis, you're gonna be in your mind, it's their loss that they cannot see what you're doing with your life outside of Plexus. Like it doesn't, and somebody who's going to be annoyed or not love you enough to stay friends with you and support you, whether or not they ever are going on this journey with you. Brush them off. Like, but you're not gonna, I mean, maybe I mean, I've taken the high road a couple times and twice to the same girl. I'm like, oops, somehow we got disconnected. Send a friend request. So she's unfriended me twice. Marketing. Like, she does another company. So in my mind, I'm like, well, she's probably mad that, like, she's never approached me about her company, but I've never approached her either about Plexus. Like, but you know, you think like, hey, sister love, like, we both understand like what we're doing. So I think it's just one of those things. You're right. I think that has to come down to confidence at what you have, belief in what you're doing. And for every one person that does that and makes you feel that way, there's going to be a handful of people that come in and send you messages that are going to make you solidify, like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, they say thank you. They're cheers, like, they're appreciative of what you have. So but it does suck. It does. It really, really does. Especially from people who you are close with, or who you would never in a million years think that, you know, it kind of makes you want to, like, friend them so you can unfriend them, like, right back. You know what I mean? How have you said anything to them or to any of the people that did that? No.
I actually, at one point, I sent her a text because of something. I'm like, I know you don't see my social media anymore, but I wanted you to see this because of XYZ, whatever.
That's good.
And she's like, oh, and then, like, we text, yeah. All the other stuff that happens, we just aren't connected on social media.
Yeah. In my opinion, there is something that is on them where they're like, that's not on you. Like, the reason that they're unfriending is something that has to do with them, that's on them, that has nothing to do with you and who you are. Because I think I can pretty much safely say for all of us, like, we are genuine people. We are not out to make a buck. We are not out to sell somebody something that they don't need. We are sharing our experience with other people, with telling them what we have. And if somebody can't handle it, then just, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, is your life different that they're not following you? Or that they're not seeing your things? And is your life different that you're not seeing their things? Would it be nice to? Sure. Like, kumbaya, like, bring everybody on. But if it's, you know, now if, like, my mom started unfollowing me, I'd be devastated. Like, but and even that, like, she'll say, do you think you post too much? And I'm like, do you think I post too much? And she's like, I do. I'm like, good, then it's working. Like, I don't know what else to. So I think just, I would say for you to, like, you know, like, get it out, like, vent it out, and then try to figure out where your belief might be lacking, like, if you still feel like it's a bother for people, in my opinion. Bring it on, sister. Keep going. We did pillow talk. I know you got a lot more in there. You got a list. Read it out.
Oh, no, I'm looking. No, I don't.
It's like number 54.
All-time event. I'm good. I will say one other thing. You're in your. There's a bug. Sorry.
Oh, are you clapping?
Yeah. Hello. So you were talking about how, you know, even at work, our work lives, because I think most of us have something else we do for our daily lives, but we have people we can vent to there. But I feel like even there, it's like this new thing in our world where we all have to figure it out ourselves, where we feel like we have to figure it all out ourselves. And I think I just want to say this to all of us, because I think we all try to have everything perfect. Mm-hmm. We tend to want to be that way. I want to have everything exactly how it's supposed to be, and know that whatever we're doing is the right thing to be doing, or how we're doing it is exactly how it's supposed to go. But I'm a lot of times walking blind through things, but you don't want to ask for help. So I think that's one of the things that is great about our group, is we do ask each other for help. And I think we just got to keep those lines of communication open, because we're not alone.
I agree. Totally.
I have nothing else on my list for now. I mean, I have other things, but I'm not going to bore you with it. So, come on, Rachel. I know you want to say something.
Who's next? Come on, Rachel.
Rachel.
I mean, other than the fact that I was super, like, last minute trying to get my numbers last night, and then the damn website shut off at 11. What was that? I was so mad. I was so mad.
You brought up a good point, Rachel. So, and you guys might not, we don't talk about this ever, but if you're going for a big goal at the end of the month, at 11 o'clock Central Time, which is midnight Eastern Time, like 11 o'clock Central Time, it's gone. Like at 11:01, everything goes back to zero. So here's Rachel trying to push herself through, you know, like we all do. Like I bought a shit ton of products for myself for convention so I could earn prizes, you know, like a ton. So that's we can do that. You're going to take the products anyway. But if you're going to be buying your products from yourself, like sweet Rachel's like processing at like 11:01, and then it like goes to the next month rather than pushing.
Literally 11 o'clock in 28 seconds. I'm not even kidding you. That's what my order confirmation says. I was so mad, and thank God Stephanie Nichols called me. She stopped texting me. She just called me. She's like, girl, we got to get you more positive right now, because I was like spiraling at that point. I was just so mad. And it's like 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night, and I'm like fuming. I'm like, how can they do this to us? I was getting so mad. And then she's like, girl, I've been there. It's good, but it's all going to be good. Yep. And I was like, okay.
Well, that at the end of the month, the back office is slow. And we're going to get you taken care of.
We're calling first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean I just wanted to have that lesson be for everyone, like to understand like what happens. So you go right ahead, girl.
Oh no, yeah. No, but I think also kind of going off what Marty was saying about like belief and stuff. Like I posted multiple times this weekend just because I had a lot of like revelations this weekend and I wanted to like share them. But like as I posted this morning, then I started like ruminating over like, did I post too much? Did I share too much about my personal story? Is everyone annoyed by like the things that I posted? And so I started kind of like doubting myself, especially when like the only people who were commenting on these like posts that I was like super vulnerable with were other Plexus people. And I was like, where are my other people at? So it was like a frustrating, like, wait, did I annoy people too much? Did I like share too much? Like, should I pull it back? Like, it was like a doubt kind of thing that went on today in my head.
Even if they're not responding, they're watching you.
Yep. They are watching.
I could tell there's like 200 views or something, like 150 to 200 views on like most of my videos. So I know people are watching.
And the people that are watching, they're either going to watch you for another year, or they're scared to comment, or you're going to be messaging, like sending out messages to people for this IPA challenge, and somebody's going to respond and be like, I'm so glad that you reached out to me. I've been watching you. So that will happen and that will come. And yeah, people are scared to like make that first initial contact, because then they're, you know, like, and they might have had a bad experience with something if they were in another network marketing company where maybe somebody like went, you know, threw all this information at them and like wouldn't stop talking about it. But we're not like that. So it's, yeah, people, they're going to watch you for a while. Some will be ready before others. But in my opinion, you can never post too much. I mean, because the algorithm, like, people aren't seeing, you know, I think this still is a thing. Marty, you probably know this more than anyone, but is it for a post to be post worthy? Doesn't have to have like 5 likes and a couple comments.
It ranks the difference if you heart it versus thumbs up it. It ranks all of it differently. The number of comments you get, if you've interacted with somebody in a while, like if you haven't interacted with people on their Facebook, they're not going to see your posts because they just assume you guys really aren't that well connected. So if you're not doing other things to interact with people, then yeah, they're not going to see your posts. Yeah. So yeah, it takes a lot more than you realize. I'll say, Rachel, just because this just happened. So I was just talking about how, you know, people cutting you out and you're like, what the hell? But to Nicole's point, for everybody that does cut you out, or, you know, you get the response from somebody when you do hear from them, or you reach out to them and they say, oh my gosh, you're a rock star. You know, you do such a great job. You're an inspiration. Keep going. And you hear that and you think, all right, the right people that want to see this and hear it are seeing it and hearing it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the one other thing that I was thinking about today is, like, I guess, again, this kind of goes along with belief, but like when I'm reaching out to someone, like, I don't want them to feel offended. Like, I think there's something wrong with you, so you need these products. Like, I know it's like we all need these products, like, but I guess I get that like fear in the back of my head, like they're gonna think that I think there's something wrong with them. So I think that kind of holds me back a little bit.
Yeah, if you circle it back to being excited about what you have found and saying that you like can't stop talking about it and you want all your friends and family to feel as awesome as you feel. I mean, I don't think that there's anything, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think there's anything offensive with that. And, you know, or if you wanted to keep it basic and be like, hey, I'm sure by now you've seen my post. Have you ever tried it? Like, you're just asking them a simple open-ended question. So yeah, and again, I think that all comes back to belief into, because once you have that to the tip top of the core in yourself, like you're literally going to be like, everybody needs this. Everyone who is walking, living, and breathing, or walking around this planet Earth, whatever age they are, needs what we have. So yeah, it's just all about the time, and I think that belief comes with, you know, like Katie, you know, we were talking about how sometimes you can get stuck in your own head and be like, this isn't working for me. Like, there's just, how am I supposed to tell somebody something when this doesn't work for me? How am I supposed to be honest and talk about it? You have that kind of that revelation or that aha moment like Katie had, you know, at her doctor's office. And now it's that belief's funneling back in. So it's a matter of time for everyone, different time frames. But once it's like that core is in you, you know, like kind of when you come back from convention, it's there, and you just have to kind of keep igniting it every once in a while over and over. Oops.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Anybody who's next? I feel like we're on The View. I love this. Amanda, Tara, Stephanie, Liz, and I don't know Katie, and I don't know who this bottom phone number is, but I'm glad you're here. Stephanie, do you have anything? I'm going to unmute her.
Oh.
Hey.
I unmuted you.
Yeah, good. I started driving and I was like, oh shit, I gotta find the unmute button, so you did it for me. I was pulled over watching the sunset.
Yeah, no, Steph was like the motivation behind this call too, so I think it's great.
Hey guys, love you all. Yeah, I don't know. I have like so much stuff going on right now. My mind is kind of mush, so I'm like not even helpful. And if you'll hold on 1 second, a lamp just came off of the truck in front of me and he's pulling over. So I got to tell him where it went.
What?
So mute me back and I'll be right back.
Okay. Wait, what's happening?
Something about a lamp falling off the truck in front of her?
Just tell him where it went?
I guess.
All right.
I kind of want to unmute it.
No, I want to hear this goes down.
I picture like the trucker from Adventures in Babysitting with the claw, the one hook. I don't know why. That's where my head goes because I'm 12. Tara or Amanda or Liz or Katie, you guys have anything specific that you want to get off your chest?
Hey, sorry, I'm clipping nails and toenails for my kids. Ain't nobody want to hear that.
The truck and
can you guys hear me?
yeah.
Oh, all of a sudden me being able to hear you got really, really soft. I don't know how to fix that.
Stephanie turned on your video, you guys. I just saw it interrupt.
I was letting you see what was happening.
Steph, we'll come right back to you right after Tara.
Okay.
I can't hear anything.
We can hear you, Tara.
We can hear you.
Okay, well, I guess, I don't know. This is something that I hate the word stuck. Someone said, quit saying you're stuck. So I need to quit saying it. But I've talked to a couple of you individually about this. Like, I know I am to the point with my business. I've been doing this for almost 3 years that I have to reach out to people. Like, I have to. I cannot just wait for people to come to me. And I know that. But I have the biggest block when it comes to reaching out to people. I just struggle to find a way that, like, I feel is authentic to who I am. But then hearing you talk, Nicole, I think it is like a belief issue, because I do think that, like, I think I approach it in my mindset is automatically that I'm bothering people. And I really, really struggle with that. Like, I have no problem. I've been trying to talk to people more. Like, I've developed this relationship with these baseball moms. I mean, hell, we spend enough time together. And so I've gotten a couple of them on board, and, you know, it comes up a natural conversation, but I just really struggle with reaching out to people via social media or whatever. And when I struggle with something like that, I won't, like, I'll just stop doing everything, because I feel like that's the only thing that's going to propel my business forward. And my fear is keeping me from doing it. So then I don't do much. And I just really struggle with that. I don't know if anybody else is there with me.
Let me ask you a question, Tara. So, like, if you go to a restaurant that's awesome or see a movie, like, or something that excites you and you want to tell people about it, like, how do you do that? Do you do that, like, if just in random conversation, or you like, like, when you find something, anything that excites you and you want to, like, tell people, like, you got to go here to try this. Is that something that you find yourself doing, or do you not really do that with people or share that way?
Not really. I don't know. I've just become such an introvert. So I will talk to people in conversation, but you know, like, I'm not a big social, if it were not for Plexus, I would never go on social media. I would never post anything. I would never do anything. Like, I just don't, it's just not my thing. I don't know. So like I said, I can talk to people about it in person when it comes up in conversation. My boss just purchased products from me from a couple of days ago, and I do not talk about it at work at all. But I just, when it comes to, like, you know, reaching out to people that maybe I don't, you know, have like as much of a relationship with, I'm just not a person that's going to be like, hey, I haven't talked to you in 20 years, but how are your kids? Like, I'm not doing that. So that's just not going to work for me. And anybody that knows me knows that, like, I would never do that. So it's totally inauthentic. And I just really struggle with that.
If you took it out of the context of thinking, like, reaching out to random people that you haven't talked to in 20 years, and put it more in a way of, like for you, like, what's your favorite product that makes you excited, that you're like, I literally think everybody needs to be on this product? What would that be?
Gosh, I don't even know if I could pick one, because I love all
Like,
of
what has
them.
helped you the most personally?
I'd probably have to say the ProBio 5 and Vital Bio.
Okay. And if you start kind of digging in deep, and not to say this is going to help with messaging or pushing over that fear, but digging in deep and thinking, like, about how many people out there are struggling with things that need help, that could even just simply be helpful from ProBio 5. And then, I mean, I think for you, I think if you start reaching out to people that you know first, and get practice at it, and get comfortable at talking about it, comfortable at sharing videos or the shareables or whatever, I think that can be a baby step into you. I mean, because you're going to continue to be building that belief and having those conversations and talking to people who might be more supportive than someone who you might not have seen since high school. Like, but starting those, and you might feel like you have tapped all of your warm market by doing this as long as you have, but I can guarantee you haven't. Like, as far as reaching out to people, like, I bet you could put 5 names on a sheet of paper right now of people that come to your mind that maybe you've never messaged about it, or maybe that you've talked to a long time ago. But I think, because it is scary. Like, I get uncomfortable. I encourage Carly all the time. She like hates going live. And I'm like, you gotta go live, I can't remember the last time I go live. And when I go live, I have my daughter as, like, my side decoy, like, because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm so nervous. So I feel like we all struggle with those things all the time. But I think with baby steps, when it comes to just kind of pushing past your fear and finding something, one product or one topic that's going to make you feel genuine and authentic, like you are, and not trying to just be like, blah, here's this. You know what I mean? I haven't seen you, but here's this. So I think if you started out as a baby step and just find what your approach is. And I think that, you know, the voicemail messages are so where it's at, I feel like, rather than typing out all this information. And so I've told you before, like, use my voice message thing. Like, if you say, hey, I don't want you to listen to this, I won't listen to it. Like, if you're embarrassed by it, or like, and do it over and over and over until you find one that you're like, done, bingo, like this is the one, I'm going to send this, and then see kind of what response that you get. But and if messaging people is not the way for you and more about conversations, then try to have more conversations. I mean, I think that it's not going to be the same method for everyone. And I think that's hard to say to an introvert, like, go have more conversations. You know what I mean? But if that's your way,
pretty much I avoid those.
Yeah, if that's your way, then make that your way, because you're not going to be comfortable. I mean, you grow when you're uncomfortable, but you're going to have that wall block until you find your method and your way that's going to make you feel like, I have to say something right now. If I don't, then what am I doing? Like, why am I not, talking about it? So, and we'll work together to help you find what that way is, because it's probably not my way. It's probably not Marty's way, or it's your way. And whatever that is, it's not wrong. It's not indifferent. It's just the way that is going to take you to the next level of where you want to go. But there's reaching, it's hard. It is hard. It's hard. But like, I don't even know who says it, like Jen or whatever. She's like, always says, but did you die after you sent that message? And you're like, nope, sure didn't. Like, I'm still, it's 30 seconds. And if they don't respond, then bless and release, but I am always going to be here. So, but yeah, it's a hard thing, and it's a hard block. Once you have that in your head, that is a hard thing to push past. But when you push past it and realize how many people do need what you have and are going to be excited to hear from you and are going to be, think about, like, if you wouldn't have talked to Amanda, and Amanda had the same thing when I first saw her. She's like, I want nothing to do with like this. I'm just kind of dabbling in it. And then she's crying at her first convention. And then so you just never know who's going to come into your life and whose life you are going to touch. And I think if you keep that at the tip top forefront of your mind, that wall is going to break down a lot quicker than what you think it will.
Sarah, I feel you. I get, I totally get that way. People think I'm a very outgoing social person, but I'm actually pretty shy. So, and then all of the I don't want to bother people thing goes in my head too. And I, for a while there, I was using our little magic message, right? Oh, you've seen my posts. Have you ever tried it? That one. And I had one person respond to me and say, this is the most inauthentic, awful way for you to try and reach out to me. We haven't talked in forever. And I was floored. I was like, oh, I'm a horrible human being. I can't believe I've been sending these messages to people. And I clearly overreacted, but I let it hold me up and I let it prevent me. I have not sent that message since. And I know that that's a block, and I know that that's a good message. It's a fine message, but I'm actually taking a little bit of a different approach. And I know you just said you wouldn't necessarily reach out to people you haven't talked to in a long time, but I'm trying to go to more of my, regular people that I'm connected to and just actually start conversations with them again. Not the people that it's been 20 years, but some of the people that maybe are a little bit more recent, and I'm just starting nothing about Plexus and just saying, just checking in with them and being like, oh, hey, and doing what I said, like, if you interact on their social media pages, they'll see your posts. And I know, it's not 100% social. And I've even thought about how are other ways I can go at this without being on social media because of all of that. So I feel you. I don't have any answers, but I feel you.
Tara, do you have something coming up, like a high school reunion or a big event where there's like for me, for like my 20-year reunion, I was helping plan it, and I would still reach out to all the high school people like, do you know where it is or what time it starts? Like, just to start a conversation, and it leads into more conversation. It wasn't anything about Plexus. It was just more of contact, Do you have anything like that coming up on the horizon? Or
Yeah, it was this weekend. I didn't go.
So maybe.
And I helped plan it. I had too many things going on with my kids.
So maybe you can use that.
I can't hear you guys ever. I can only. Sorry.
No problem.
Can you hear me? Even if can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I guess something with because I had headphones in, and then when I took them out, I can't hear. If you can hear me with my headphones in. I can now, but I guess I have to keep the headphones in. I don't know. What
I was going to say is this is a perfect opportunity to reach out to people that, do you guys have like a Facebook list of members that, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to be like, hey, I did not get to go. I'm so sorry I missed it. How was it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like message that starts a line of communication, and who knows where that can go, but maybe go into that group and friend request people. I was just telling Rachel this before we got on the call. Like, that's what I went into the group and went to all the members, and I'm like, well, we went to high school together. Like, it's not going to be out of the, it's not going to be weird for me to just send them a friend request now at the reunion. That might be a great tip for you to kind of start those reach outs, but not make it about Plexus. Make it about relationship building and have them start seeing your things. And have them send you crazy pictures from the reunion. So. But we can help you find, I mean, once you get rid of that block, we can help you find that. And then I think that the floodgates just kind of start flowing with your creativity and who your list will flourish with names of people that you are ready to about reaching out to. It is hard, 100% hard for everyone, I feel like.
That list of 64, Tara, can you hear me okay? Okay. That list of 64, you know, that they talked about at convention, they've talked about now for a while. I can't seem to get that thing filled out. So I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I do sometimes, because I know there's people that need it, but I'll think of a name and I'll be like, yeah, that's one more person. But then I'm like, I don't know. So again, I'm just being real. The struggle is real over here.
Yeah, no, it totally is. That could be overwhelming for so many people. So take it into little chunks or make it 3.
And that's what they said in our training, which was so good. And I've done that, but it's hard. It's hard.
It is. Yeah, no, it is. There's nothing easy. But when we have events like what Marty and Rachel and Stephanie have kind of put together, the 14-day Slim Down Challenge, or I'm going to put together a 3-day hunger control blitz toward the end of July. Like, we have these events. They're just great ways to reach out to people as a reason for reach out, for people you've talked to before, for people close in your network. Like, and that's not an ingenuine thing to say. You're just like, hey, this is what I'm running. You interested? $10, you know, however, whatever. Like the 3-day blitz is going to be $12. Like, you've probably seen my post that you want in. Like, you're just asking them a question. If they don't answer, that's totally fine. Like, and then you can scroll through like I do month after month, and I'm like, oh my God, I've invited them like 95 times. And an ambassador who just joined our team last month, at literally 9 events I invited her to, not one response. Just joined our team, and she said, thank you for not giving up on me. And she didn't even respond. Like, it wasn't even like I'm like, I didn't even know you were interested. Like, I just wanted you to come because I feel like you could really have benefited from the products. But that just kind of goes to show you, like, silence does not mean leave me alone or stop contacting me. If they be like, hey, leave me, like, they say that from their mouth, then yeah, probably, you know, well, then I'll contact you in a year from now. But maybe you'll change your mind. But yeah, so there's just always little tips or little lessons along the way. And I still learn things every single day, every day. So, and I know, Stephanie, do you want me to unmute you? Are you okay with the trucker? Not unmute her. She is frozen on me. Amanda, do you have anything?
Hey, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Well, I was just going to say, I've had to take a step back. There's been a lot going on in my life, and I was just putting too much pressure on myself with Plexus and everything else that I had going on. Like, it was stressing me out, and I need to find a balance between like wanting to go gold, like, and still figuring out how to keep my family happy. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I need to figure it out so that I don't feel like pressure to be successful, but I don't know. I'm just in a weird Plexus place right now, but I want to get back into it and focus more. I don't, again, with the reach outs, like Tara, I know that's what I need to do at this point, but I do not want to do them. So I don't know. I'm at a weird place. I needed this call.
Yeah, no, I think that we all kind of find ourselves in that spot, you know, and it's when you recognize the fact that you're there and don't let it stop you if you need to pause and you need to like figure it out. I think that's awesome because rather get there than get to the burnout mode and just been like, I'm out. But I think it's especially when you come back and when you're like figuring out what it is that you want about this, and again, revisiting your why and like, why are you doing this? And if I want to do this, like, what does that mean for my family? Does that mean like, I'm going to tell my family like every day or every night for 15 minutes, this is going to be my time for 15 minutes, and you've set a timer. And if you can have like intentional business and work it in that way without pressure, and then shut it down, whatever that is, that looks like for you, but that has to be your time and your way. But if you kind of involve everyone that you love at home in that plan, then you might not have that guilt or that pressure or those things. And obviously, like life, let's be real, are the every night going to be the same 15 minutes? Probably not. But if you have it on your calendar, just like it's an appointment or something, if you want to work it like that, then I think that is a way that I feel like a lot of people balance it, because I sit there and think about like Brooke Hemingway, who has 7 kids and she homeschools all of them and she's diamond. I'm like, how did she do that? Like, how is that possible? But it makes it's known that it is possible. And I think when it comes to a fact of like where your focus can be your blind efforts, your blind work, and bringing people on, finding people that have the same vision and having them help you, because you're not doing this by yourself. It's just not, you don't have to do this alone at all. But that's a hard place to get out of. I felt like that I feel like we all feel like that every couple of weeks. Like I feel like that's definitely a normal feeling, but I'm proud of you for being on here tonight. It says a lot, like that you want this and that you want to figure out a way. And I think as long as you're still trying to figuring it out is never going to go away. That's going to continue to happen all the time. But you have enough energy to want to figure that out. And so I think that speaks a lot for maybe what, you might not know what you want out of this or where you see this or how it fits in, but that you want to try to do that. And I think that that's huge. So I'm glad that you're on.
Yeah, thanks.
I've been there too.
Doing my best here.
Yeah.
You're awesome, Amanda. Everybody here is awesome.
I agree.
So don't doubt yourself.
I love Marty, our little cheerleader.
Well, you know what? I need cheerleading too. And I know you guys are the best cheerleaders ever. And I just want to make sure you all know how awesome you are. So I think, Amanda, we've all looked up to you and we know it's great. It's hard. It's hard to maintain. You guys, you were blowing things out of the water with your PV for so long. And I bet that's a hard thing to, I look at all the attrition. I haven't had gold points since I went gold. So, things like that happen and you try to maintain and it's hard. And if it's hard to find the right balance. So.
Yeah, I reached out for people for that challenge. I sent like 45 messages, and 2 people actually got back to me to say that they were they switched over to Arbonne or they were doing Beachbody and Shakeology, and I was like, such a But you just gotta move forward and hope they come back. But yeah, one girl's like, I'm doing the Arbonne shakes and fizz sticks. I like the taste better, whatever. And I'm like, oh, nothing I can say to that. Okay, cool. I couldn't believe they were honest with me about it. I guess it was good, but it was still kind of like a gut punch there with that. But at least I know, so I can ask them, hey, so how's that Arbonne going? But I did ask, oh, just curious, what do you like better? Or how is the price? Or,
There are going to be those people that come back. They're going to.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've seen it already.
Yeah.
But
still doesn't make that.
I had somebody
get punch make it
better. Oh, sorry. I should say this weekend I had somebody who just recently, she had done a 7-day a while back. Then she started taking the Slim recently, not that long ago, maybe a couple months. And I shot her a message about the challenge, and she's like, hey, thanks for thinking of me. I've canceled my subscription. I got my last month. I'm done. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? It's the same thing where I'm like, what could we have done differently? What was it about it that you didn't care for? How could I have helped you more? So help me learn, and that same message, you're a rock star. Thanks for being there. I'm like, what? But why?
Yeah.
Come back. So, yeah.
Those are the questions that are you're going to ask yourself that all of the time. That never, ever, ever goes away. But, it's just, it comes along with it. And as long as those are, again, the things that you can't control. And as long as you know that you can go to bed at night being like, you know what, I did everything I could. And if you go to bed at night and you can't say that, then wake up the next day and try to figure out maybe what, if you're thinking you got to give yourself some grace and we're all busy, this is a whole where we want to take it. But if you feel like you're not posting on your team pages, or if you feel figure out a way or let them know that you're available or that they can come to you, as long as that communication's open. I think that's super important, and it helps people engage. I think at the end of the day, people who are going to take the products are going to take the products whether they're hearing from you or not. But I think that communication, and they trusted you to do this. I think that it's really good key as well, just to kind of keep top of mind. If you are going to do this every day, and have this a priority, whether it be 5 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe on your list of to-dos is to just put a post on your page, or whatever, just letting them know that you're here, or troubleshooting or whatever. So that's all that comes with balance. You guys all know, I post 75 million times a day on our team page because I have a lot of information that I want to share. So, but that can overwhelm a lot of people. And I know that people have taken off notifications because of that. So I think it's just whatever the balance is that you feel comfortable with is what's right for you, for sure. Stephanie, it looks like you're home. Out of the
I am home now.
What you got, girl?
Yeah, sorry about that earlier. So yeah, I think great call. Thanks everybody for just being transparent. And one of the things I can relate to with Amanda right now is trying to find that balance, even though I don't have kiddos to juggle or whatever. It's just trying to find the balance. A couple of nights ago, I did not want to work my business. I just wanted to veg out. And because it was the end of the month and I was trying to hit my PV goal and all that stuff, I just wouldn't allow myself to rest, And so I'm just at a point where I'm just tired because, my team is not really doing anything. I had 2 people who were working the business for a very short amount of time, and that lasted a few months, and then they poofed off. They're still using the products. One quit using the products for a while. Now she's back using them. The other one's barely using products and not responding to any of my messages or whatever. But yeah, I'm just tired because yeah, it feels good to hit goals and to hit things like that, but I would much rather say look what me and my team hit this month, instead of saying I hit this month. I would rather say look what me and my team hit. And I just don't have that. Out of my 11 ambassadors or whatever I have, nobody's doing shit. Half of them aren't even buying anything right now. And so, yeah, I'm kind of with Amanda. It's you try to be your own cheerleader, and then you're trying to find balance. And I'm just tired of working so hard. And, when I think about Celeste or Jen or anybody, any of the diamonds, anybody who is successful, yeah, they get a lot of credit, but their team, it's a group effort. So, they didn't pull that rank by themselves, so you were talking about Brooke being a stay-at-home mom and all that stuff, and homeschooling her kids and all that, super impressive. And I'm not taking away from any of that, but it's she had runners with her who helped build a team, and so when you don't have that, and you're constantly feeling like you're starting over and rebuilding and starting over and rebuilding, and you're just and like you said, on your side, Nicole, you're a leader. I can't imagine leading how many you lead, because at this point, I'm just trying to corral 11 people, and I just want to lay down and take a nap, because I'm this is exhausting. It's trying to be a cheerleader and okay, now are you drinking your water? Okay, you can do it. All this other stuff, and it's that's just 11 people. I can't imagine 100, but it's at some point, it's I still have the vision and the belief and the goal and the love and the dream and all that other stuff. It's just sometimes I just feel I need an IV drip though, because it I'm just running low.
And especially then you factor into like life happenings and things like that too that you're trying to juggle, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate this call.
Well, no, Steph, I mean, you earned Leaders Retreat by yourself. You deserve a nap. I'll just-
Yeah, it was
that is very hard to do. I mean, that's a big, big deal. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, when you don't feel like you have that support, you do feel like, and I will say, like, until you're gold, you're doing it by yourself. You kind of are. You're along the way, unless, you know, you find, and you do find some people like I have a friend, Kate, who's a Sapphire, and she's like, there's no way I would be here without my two runners. Like, I would not be where I am. And so it does speak a lot of, you know, but, and I guess that kind of might make you hungry for more, to like go look for people and your friends that you don't want to do this without, and those people that have the vision, and those people, but that's exhausting too. Like, that can be tiresome. But when you do find that one person that you can run with, and that you can, like, I know with Marty, when she, you know, found Allison, like, it was very exciting for her. She can be like, oh my God, this is Marty and Allison's team page. Like, here we are, this is together, you know, and Tara and Amanda, and like you find that person, and it sparks something in you that's like, I'm not crazy. Like, this is happening. Like, this can happen. And then that's contagious of going out to look for people who you want to bring with you. That's going to be contagious in them too, because they're going to see that, you know. But it is, I mean, it is a energy suck when you're trying to constantly do it over and over and over and over every single day. But if you continue to do it, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It just means that you want this, and you're not going to stop until you have it, you know. And there's if you guys haven't read The 4-Year Career, go read that book. It's awesome. It's a really good read. Also, Get Over Your Damn Self. That's my favorite book. Marty, I swear to God, yours is coming. Like, I owe you that copy. But those are great reads. But yeah, it's all about, if you don't have that self-drive, or that it's going to be really hard to continue to propel yourself forward. So I think that's where the self-growth comes in, and that's where I had no idea that this came along with any of this. And I feel like a different person now than I was 4 years ago. And I think we can probably all say that we've all grown in different areas, but that growth is going to help you continue to wake up and say, I'm doing this, and have those blinders on, and link arms with the people who want to link arms with. And until you build a team of your own, know that we are all we're all one team on one level. So link arms with all of us. And when you bring on that person, then we'll link arms with them too, and continue to do it together. Because, I mean, that's where, like, when you do build a team, like the one that we have, like for me, like I do not feel successful until everybody feels successful. Like, that's where I want to take everybody to. And that doesn't happen when it's, you know, like even at convention, when they have like senior Ruby seating, I'm like, I don't want to sit up there. I want to sit with my team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what rank you are. Like, what matters is we're all here for a whole bigger purpose. So yeah, be exhausted, take time to rest, take time to nap. I need to practice what I preach, because I don't but no, I mean, take that time, because if you don't, you are going to burn out. And that's the last thing that you want to have happen. And think about, like, how did I get to this point, you know?
Hey, here's one thing too I was going to mention. I talked to Rachel last night about it when we were on the phone. So the lean, I have not, I'm not using hunger control yet, but I have been using lean for, I think, a week now or something. And it was funny because it's practice what you preach, like what you were mentioning. You know, think about how many of us, probably most of us, have had customers who are like, I don't like the taste of Slim. It's too sweet. It's too this, right? We've all had those customers. Like the original one especially. I used to get that feedback a lot with the original Slim. And so anyway, and you're thinking, like, at least if you're like me, I was thinking, like, seriously, it's not this horrible taste. Like, mix it with 4 ounces of water and do it like a shot, you know, instead of a drink or whatever. That's what I would tell people. Just slam it and then you're done with it, because you know it's doing good stuff for your body. You know, just get it in you. So anyway, with this new lean, I've never been a big fan of protein shakes, and I used to drink a particular brand years ago when I was still married. It was kind of like, was never my favorite, but I could handle it, more than the other protein shakes. So that's how I feel about lean. I'm like, oh, this is not cool. Like when I'm drinking it, even though it's only 12 ounces or whatever. But I had to think about it the other day, and I'm like, okay, Stephanie, suck it up. Like, it's doing something to your body. Like, even though it's only been a week, I feel different. I don't know how to explain it. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I mixed it with my water, and I was standing at my sink drinking it. I didn't even walk in the other room. I was just standing at my sink drinking it. And I'm like, okay, so I took 4 big drinks, and it was done. Like, I'd already drank the 12 ounces. And I was like, that took me 2 minutes or something. I don't know how long. But it was it was no big deal, and it was done, and my day was over with for that, So, I think that's interesting, because sometimes I think we need to go through some of that too. So it also creates that realness and that transparency with us, that when somebody does give me that objection, when I talk to them about, hey, have you thought about trying lean? And they're like, oh, I hate the taste of protein shakes. And I'd be like, dude, me too. I can still be transparent or honest about it. And I'm like, this one tastes better than most of them, but I'm still not and the weird thing is, today I was actually oh, I'm looking forward to drinking my lean. I was like, I don't even like the taste of it. Why am I looking forward to it? But I did notice I had it really ice cold with ice the last couple of days, and it's way better. I was just drinking it with regular tap water, so it was some ice, but you shake it up, it's not really cold. It's still room temp or whatever, however cold tap water is. And it's way better the colder it is, for me at least. But anyway, that was just something I was going to share with you guys too. I think it's interesting that happened, because sometimes we've been doing it for so long, you do kind of lose touch with how people feel or whatever. You can have empathy, you can understand, you can say, oh yeah, you hate the taste of Slim, it's too sweet. I can't really relate to that because I like the taste of it. Mm-hmm. Whereas with this, it's okay, well, take your own advice, Stephanie, and just drink it, and you were done with it in 2 minutes. Move on.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good valid point. I think Rachel and I were talking about that too, because at convention when we tried it, I'm like, oh, I want to like it so much, and I don't know. And I love it because I just, now, yeah, no. So I'm with you, and I think that when you're real with people, I'll say that all the time with people for ease. I'm like, it smells terrible, but the benefits are awesome. So hold your nose, swallow it, just do it.
Put it in the fridge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
what?
Put
it in the fridge. The capsules. Put the bottle in the fridge.
And that takes the smell.
For whatever reason, it doesn't smell as bad when you open the bottle because it's been in the fridge. So when you open it up, then you don't get the huge waft of fish.
My life is opened.
There you go. That's what you did for me, because I wouldn't take it. I would not. I was like, I cannot. I was gagging. I couldn't do it. And then I put it in the fridge, and I put it in the fridge, and I'm like, all right.
Hey, Marty, I used to not take it before I went on dates, the days that I had dates, because I was afraid that was going to emit from my body, that smell. So I was like, well, I'm just going to have to deal with inflammation today because I got the date.
Hilarious. See, Stephanie, that should be a post. I'm telling you, you should just, hold a can of tuna and then hold it. I smell the same. God.
But does this one help your inflammation?
Yep. That's awesome.
And no, it's not chicken. It's not. It's actually
chicken of the sea.
Right. Exactly.
That's an old joke for people. Rachel, you're probably too young.
I know, she's the baby.
I'm not that young.
I don't even want to hear. I'll be 40 in 30 days, so I'm going to.
Oh, shut your mouth. I'll be 41 in 3. Shush.
And Nicole looks 14.
No.
And now with Joy home, she looks 9.
I said, I saved $39. I'm just going to cut
Marty, did you say you're going to have a birthday in 3 days?
I think it's 4. Yeah, 4 days.
On the 5th?
Yeah.
Wow, we should all road trip to you.
Come on.
we all have a glass of champagne over Zoom. This is wine, but
You were drinking wine, and I'm like, I'm gonna go open a bottle. So I did. I sipped away, and I had some wine.
mine was poured like an iced tea glass, like up to here. I don't know what's happening.
She's like, I'm about to get real.
No, I love
We
these
should
calls.
totally do a birthday Zoom call Thursday with Marty, and everybody bring their glass of wine.
You should have
Yay.
monthly.
I won't answer because I'll be busy with my family, but you guys can do it. No.
No, I appreciate you guys on here tonight, and and stuff. Thank you for the encouragement to, because I don't want you guys to think that I struggle every single day, but I just need to do a better job at showing it. And I'm glad. I mean, we all seem like we all struggle with the exact same things all the time. So if you have those, I mean, start a thread. Like I would say, I mean, I think those are great. Like who struggles with you're reaching out, like, okay, how do we get past this together? Because I think the more people that you know that struggle with the same things, the easier it can be to kind of push through it together. I like these. I appreciate you guys on here tonight. I know we went like how was it 9:40? Like what in the world? But it is. So
It's because when there's no script, we just keep going.
I know. You guys have
Yeah. It's like a 40-minute pillow talk when it was supposed to be.
oh my god. We got off our
That was the best thing ever.
We were like, oh, it was like 12 minutes. And then we're like, oh
my God, it's 1 a.m. How did that happen?
That's so
But
funny.
thank you, Stephanie, for participating in it live with us, and Rachel from the other room.
Oh my God, that was
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right, girls.
So
Thanks.
fun.
Have a good
Have
week.
a good week.
Bye.
Bye.